Hi everyone, welcome to free webinar on why study business at the University of Technology, Sydney. As you may know, UTS is in Bangladesh, and now you have the opportunity to join our pathway program to complete the first year of your UTS degree in Bangladesh with guaranteed entry to second year at UTS in Sydney. Today, we are really fortunate to have Thomas Gu from International Development Manager from UTS Business School. We have Laura Hanna, Academic Coordinator, Accounting and Accountability from the University of Technology, Sydney. And also we have Maya Sonji, Academic Coordinator, Marketing and Customer Value, the University of Technology, Sydney. So without further ado, I'm going to hand it over to Thomas. Thomas, it's over to you.
All right. Thank you very much, Arif. Let me just share my slides. Okay, there you go. Can you guys see my slides? Yes?
Yes.
All right, cool. All right. Nice. Now, welcome to this webinar organized by BERI for the UTS Business School. So my name is Thomas. I work as the International Development Manager at the UTS Business School. So I will just give a very quick general introduction about what UTS, or University of Technology, Sydney is. So we are a public university. Currently, we have about 45 to 46,000 students. Among those students, about 11 to 12,000 are international students. The international students come from over 80 to 100 different countries around the world. We are a young university, so we're not a sandstone university, have like a 200 years history. So, but it doesn't mean that we're not prestige. We're #1 young university in Australia in the 2021 QS Top 50 under the 50 rankings. And also the 2021 Times Higher Education Young University rankings. So we're under 50 years old. We are turning 35 years in 2023. We offer a whole range of undergrad and postgrad degrees. Yeah, well, our name have technology in it. It doesn't mean that we only offer engineering, IT, physical science kind of degree. We also offer a whole range of business degrees, social arts degrees, design and architecture degrees, right? We have over 262,000 alumni around the globe. And in terms of campus, we have 5 campuses. The Broadway one is our main campus, and Haymarket, that's where our business school is. So we have 5 locations in Sydney. Now, rankings. I know ranking is not everything, but it does represent how prestige a university is. So globally, in the higher education world university rankings in 2023, UTS ranked 133 in the world, and in the QS ranking, we ranked 137. But that's only the general like in total rankings. But this is the ranking about employabilities. This is more we focus on. So we ranked 62nd globally in the QS graduate employability rankings. That means we make our graduates job ready, career ready, even before they graduate from their degrees. Now, I will focus on more about our business school, as I'm working in the business school. So the business school, we have 4 key messages. These key messages go through our degree kind of design, our subject outline, all our activities will go around these 4 key messages.
Thomas,
first one is career focused.
Thomas, can I interrupt you for a second?
Yep.
Can you change the slides over as you're speaking? We're still looking at the first PowerPoint slide.
Oh, really? Oh,
yeah.
Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah.
How about now? Can you see anything?
Yes, we can see you changing your slides now. Yes.
Oh, all right. Probably if I go full screen, there might be something different going on there.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay.
Sorry about that. That looks good. But yeah, maybe you can show the other slides as well.
Okay, this other slides, because it's kind of have some animation and moving. So if I don't show the full screen, it doesn't really. Can you see the blue with the key message in there?
Blue there.
Is there anything showing up now?
No.
Just the white text. Bachelor of Business,
Interesting.
New South Wales, most in demand. Is that what it is?
No, that's okay. Yeah, it doesn't matter. So the full key message, I can just tell you guys, it's career focused. So one is career focused. The other one is flexibilities. That's flexibility talking about in the degree design. So we make the degree flexible for students to choose what they want to study. The other one is industry connected. Okay, so we have all these industry connections, guest lectures on industry partners. The last one is the professional recognitions. I will talk in details for each one of the key message. All right, Bachelor of Business. This is our most popular undergrad degrees, and little did people know, this is also the most in-demand undergrad degree in business and commerce in the whole state of New South Wales. That not just happened in 2022, it happened in the past 5 years consecutively. So people always say, oh yeah, well, you have the other university, the bachelor's in business or in commerce, but well, our degree is the most in demand by our local Australian students because our degree being very practical and very flexible. Okay, so this is the page that I'm talking about the most in-demand degree, but I don't think you can actually see much because it's kind of a wide. So, Bachelor of Business. It's a 3-year degree, full-time. So you can see here, core subjects, you have 8 of them. So the 8 subjects, they cover the whole 5 discipline groups in the business school, okay? So there are 5 discipline groups, or we call it 5 schools in the Faculty of Business. So we have accounting school, we have economics, we have management, we have marketing, and finance. So 5 of the discipline groups. So our core subjects, we cover all of those discipline groups in their fundamental subjects. But we also have a subject called a business and a social impact. That's a subject that we designed to show that we care about the social impact and the social justice that a business school is supposed to pay more attention in the modern world. So business school nowadays is very different from the business school in the back in the 1960s, 1970s. Back then, they only teach you how to operate a business, how to make money. They don't really care about too much about the society and the positive image. But in the 21st century, especially this decade, so more business school committed to this social impact kind of influence for our students. So this is why this become one of our core subjects. So about us more information about our first year core subjects, my colleague Maya and Laura will have share more details later after my presentation. Now, after you finish your core subjects, you will go on to a compulsory major. So you choose one out of the 8 major here, from advertising, marketing, communication, all the way to management, international business. So you need to choose at least one of those as your compulsory major, okay? And after that, what do you do? It's very flexible. So we have other 8 subjects for you to do. You can do a second major. You can do 2 sub-majors. You can do 1 sub-major with 4 electives, or you can just do all 8 electives. When I talk about electives, it is not only limited to the business school electives. You can choose electives from different faculties, from international studies, from IT, from science faculties, from even design faculties. So this is actually cross different faculty electives, okay? Now, students say, what if I want to do a second major? Well, see, this is the typical timetable for your study in our Bachelor of Business. So first year, this one, you can complete that in Bangladesh, in Chittagong, right? So the first year, that's 8 subjects in there. Then you come to Sydney, do your second year. So I list out your major subject, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, capstone. Then the other options, other electives that you want to choose, you can choose anything from. Can be a major subject, can be elective, can be sub-major, okay? Some student may ask, if I do one major in business, can I do a second major in other faculties? You certainly can. So if you do your first major and you decide you want to do a second major, your second major, you don't need to choose from business school. You can choose from the business school, yes, but you also have the other two options. One is you can do a IT major as your second major from our Faculty of Engineering and IT, or you can do a business law major as your second major. Obviously, our Bachelor of Business is the most flexible degree in the whole university, because if you do any other degree from any other faculties, you can't really choose major. You can choose elective, but you can't choose a major from other faculty. But our Bachelor of Business will allow you to choose IT or business law from other faculty as your second major. Okay, so that will give you a lot of great combinations. So students doing accounting finance as their double major, or student doing marketing, when they do marketing, they realize that they want to know something about IT to help them to promote digital marketing, or how to collect data and how to target their audience online. So that's when students doing a bit of IT in their IT major to help them in the marketing major. Okay, so that's all a different combination. Also, I know someone doing finance as their first major and the business law as their second major. Why they do that is when you do finance, a large amount of financial transactions happen across nations, right? But when you do international transactions, there are a lot of law involved in different countries about their transactions. So that may actually require students to not only have a finance knowledge, but also know about a business law. Okay, so that creates a lot of possibilities for our undergrad students. So this is basically how our Bachelor of Business is structured. 3 years. First year, do your core subjects in Bangladesh. Second year and the third year, you come to UTS, choose your major or your second major or your major and electives to decide what specialization you will do. So you finish your degree in 3 years, no time waste. Now, I mentioned that one of the key message is industry or professional recognitions. So UTS Business School is recognized by AACSB. So that's one of the business school accreditations that only the top 1 or 2% of business school around the world will have that accreditations. That accreditation is for the whole business school. And for each major, each courses, we have other different type of professional recognitions, okay? Now, for example, if you do Bachelor of Business and you choose accounting major, if you finish the accounting major, you actually meet the academic requirements for the following professional bodies, say CPA Australia, Chartered Accountants Australia, New Zealand, you have a CIMA, you have ACCA, you have IPA. So once you finish your accounting major, you'll meet the entry requirement for all these professional bodies. That's for accounting major. Finance major, the most important part is the CFA Institute. Okay, if you want to be a CFA, you can actually do our finance major, because our finance major will make sure that it covers 70% of the CFA program, which is their requirement for the academics. So when you do actually our degree with finance major, you actually meet their academic requirement into CFA program. Obviously, you need to actually register and enroll into the CFA program, but that's a stepstone for you to actually get in. For our finance major, you can also meet the requirement for Financial Services Institute of Australia, which is FinCEA, also meet their requirements. Now, we also have Human Resource Management major. People don't really know that Human Resource Management is actually accredited by one of the professional bodies, which is the Australian HR Institute, AHRI. So if you finish our Human Resource Management major in the Bachelor of Business, you are eligible to apply for the professional member status into this institute. Okay, so that's most of the professional recognition that it will provide, or our degree will make you eligible for. Now let's talk about something education beyond the classroom. Okay, so in this, I talked about the subjects or the majors that you will do while you study, but what can you do outside your classroom as a business student? So in UTS, we have more than 130 clubs and societies, and a whole bunch of other communities, and also the other organizations. And also on the right-hand side, you can see that we have business societies, postgrad business societies, microfinance, investment societies. So this is all the student bodies, student club and societies that business students are members of. So it depends on what you are interested, you actually can join those club and societies. So, well, I have never done investment studies before, but I find it really fascinating that students in the investment society, they will group up together and to study about it's the property market or the share market or the cryptocurrency market, which is the best investment currently. So I was like, wow, brilliant. So you actually use the knowledge that you learn in your classroom, and you have a society with a whole bunch of people with a common interest, right? And also internships. This is something that you do not outside classrooms, because in each major of the Bachelor of Business, we do offer a subject as a electives. It's called business internships. It is a subject. It's a credit bearing subject. Okay, so I have to say this up front. Internships, it's not 100% guarantee that you will get it. Okay, because in Australia, it's very different. For any type of internships, you have to go through a selection process, right? We offer you the opportunities. We give you the connections. We even help you to write your resumes and CVs. We offer an opportunity for a mock interview to help you get through the whole process. But at the end of the day, we want you to be proactive, and you need to perform in the interview. Because that's actually how you look for jobs. How you find jobs in Australia is exactly the same process. But a lot of our students are successful securing their internships in the big companies here, Deloitte, Toyota Finance Services, all these groups. But I have to say, these are the well-known companies around the world. There are a lot of local Australian companies that people outside of Australia never heard of, like Commonwealth Bank of Australia. That's the biggest commercial bank in Australia. But people from other country, say I'm from China. Before I came to Australia, I never heard of this bank before. But they are the biggest commercial bank in Australia. So my advice to our student is, when you look for internships, don't just look for the multinational companies, because the competition is huge. So do look for the startups and the local companies as well. Okay. Now, our alumni, people may ask, okay, so if I go to UTS, do my Bachelor of Business, where am I going to go after I graduate? I'll give you some examples, our students from different majors, okay? So Melissa is our graduate from Bachelor of Business, major in marketing. So she is the manager for media partnerships, Aussie. So that's Aussie is one of the marketing media companies. Now, Bianca, major in human resource management and business law. So she is currently working as a general manager in the Sam Prince Groups, okay? And Rihanna, finance accounting major, which is a very popular combination. Now she's a client account manager in AMP Capital, one of the investment companies. So these are some only just 3 examples of where our student normally will go. But we do have extensive alumni networks, not just in Australia, but also globally. I think in October, we had 2 international alumni network events. One was held in Singapore. The other one was held in Mumbai in India. So we had many our overseas alumni attending. Most of them are from our Bachelor of Business and others from our postgrad degree, master degrees. Now, a very exciting information about scholarships. You may say, Well, are we eligible for scholarships? Yes, you are. The scholarship I'm talking about here, please pay attention. This is a scholarship offered to our students who complete their first year studies in Bangladesh already and ready to transfer to the second year in Sydney. So this is what we call the UTS Diploma to Degree Pathway Scholarship. Okay, so this is available for 2023, 2024, and 2025. The great point about this is not a merit-based scholarship. So as long as you accept our offer to the second year bachelor's to come to Sydney, you will receive that 20% tuition fee scholarship. Okay, so this is a very great opportunity. This is also because we want to celebrate the 35 years of anniversary to encourage our students to join UTS. Lastly, but not least, we have the admission criteria. This admission criteria is actually for you to entry into our first year UTS business program at a premier university in Bangladesh. Okay, it's not the requirement for you to transfer to second year. Transfer from first year to second year is very simple. You finish your diploma with no more than 2 fails, you are set, you're guaranteed with the entry. This slide is for the entry to the first year when you study in Bangladesh. So I think my colleague Arif can actually explain a bit more. If you have questions, please feel free to ask in the chat box about how this all works. Okay. Now, that concludes my short presentation. I will pass on to my colleague Maya and Laura to talk about their experience as student or as professional now, and also something about the subject in our first year studies. Hi, Maya, Laura, I'll pass back to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Thomas. Thank you so much. Thomas, yes, actually, could you just stay on that slide if you don't
This
mind?
slide or the next one?
No, the one with the course structure. Please.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it. Okay.
Here.
So hello, everybody. Good evening or good afternoon in your case. I'm Maya, and I'm the current academic coordinator for marketing and customer value at UTSC. Something I want to share with you guys first before I start talking a little bit about business is that I'm also an international student. I came to Australia as an international student, and I came to pursue a master's degree here in Australia. I came to Australia in 2002, and I never left. So I stayed. And I loved the country. It's amazing. And I ventured into so many realms of the business industry. I've met so many amazing people. I've got a huge network of professionals that I help with. They help me, and we've grown together. So being part of that alumni club, as Thomas was talking about, is super important. It's where you maintain your network and you can really excel and do things that you wouldn't be capable of doing on your own. And this is very important in business because business is not about doing things on your own. We have a company and we're working with people. So we need to acknowledge that. And it's okay to ask for help and it's okay to help others. So I just wanted to sort of put that through. I'm very happy with my life. I love Australia. I love what Australia has presented to me. And of course, if Australia isn't your place and you want to go back home and take these skills that you've learned here in Australia and be the person that you want to be back home, that's even also more possible. Unfortunately, I come from a country where home is war, so I never went back. So I made Australia home for me. Australia, and English is not my first language when I came to Australia, and hopefully you can see that my English is not so bad, though I still don't have the Australian accent. So don't be intimidated by, oh my God, if my English is not that great, how am I going to study in Australia? You will manage, and you manage so well, because the Australians are also very, very helpful. And they always want to help each other and support you, as well as the teachers. So your peers, your classmates, and your teachers are there for you. And at UTS, we have that very, very collaborative culture. Now, I understand that you're all here because you have an ambition. Khan Arif, I can see you, and I can see that you are definitely an ambitious person. You might have a goal. You might have a passion that you are trying to pursue. It could be a clear goal or it could be unclear. but I believe that you guys are here because maybe there's something that you're not too sure about, and that's why you're here in this webinar to learn more. So I kind of want to offer you a little bit more about what this business program can offer you. And in a nutshell, it basically can offer you anything you want because it's so broad. It carries so many components of the business world. And business in general is very broad. There's so many things that you can become. So the reason why I wanted Thomas to keep that slide there is because if you look at the different topics, you could be an accountant, you could be a financial specialist, you could be a, an IT, you could start your own, the next new innovative tech savvy or tech company. You could be that entrepreneur, okay? You could work in marketing, you could be a marketing specialist, you could start your own marketing company. I hear that in Bangladesh, the garment industry is the, the it thing. So let me put things into a little bit of perspective for you. Let's pretend just for the next few minutes that you want to start a garment factory or a garment company. So a company where you are selling textiles and fabrics and fashion and styles. So I'm going to ask you a series of questions. So again, imagine that you are starting this company, and I'm going to ask you a series of questions. So just see if you can answer these questions in your own mind. Okay, how many different textiles are you going to sell? Where are you going to source your raw material from? Where are you going to be located? Should you locate yourself in the city hub of, the biggest city in Bangladesh so you can have better exposure and better access to more skilled workers? Or maybe it's not necessary and it's better to find a more remote area in your hometown where you can have a bigger facility, cheaper rent, but then you also don't have that access to skilled workers. So, you're trying to make these decisions now. You're thinking, right? How big should your factory be? How many employees should you have? And how much should you pay them? How would you motivate them to perform at their best? Remember, business is all about people. And by the way, business is also about money. So whether you are a non-profit organization or a for-profit organization, you still need to make money because it's what's going to keep your organization going. You still have to fund the company, the organization. Even again, if it's a charity company, you still have to pay your employees. You still have to buy resources. You have to print marketing material to reach your customers or donators, etc. So when we look at business, 30, 40 years ago, I think Thomas was talking about that. It's not the same as today, which is why we have, social impacts. But it's not about, oh, we're not making money anymore in business. No, you have to consider now social impacts to make that money. Because if you don't treat people right, if you don't care for the environment, and that's what your customers want, then they're going to go to a company that does care for the environment, and they're going to buy their products. And they're going to make the money and you're going to lose the money. And this is why we talk about these things now, because even if we think it's not relevant, it is relevant. So we are living in an age of knowledge. People are knowledgeable now. Customers know their rights. Customers know what they want. Employees know their rights. Employees know what they want. So we need to think about them, and we need to think about how we can treat them. So how would you treat your employees? Okay, if you were a manager, how much would you pay them? How would you motivate them? Okay, would you motivate them with money? Would you motivate them with rewards, etc., etc.? So we need to understand theories of motivation in this instance. So there's a lot of questions. Yeah, how much is it going to cost me? This is the number one question. Money. How much is it going to cost? Do we need a partner? Do we need to borrow money from the bank to afford this, startup, or to pay our employees to buy these resources? Who do we reach out to? How many sewing machines do we need? Who are our customers? Are we just going to sell to local people, or are we going to go big? We're going to go global. Okay, maybe build a brand even bigger than 𝐀𝐿𝐿 Group. You guys heard of 𝐀𝐿𝐿 Group over there? Okay, where you could potentially export maybe $2 billion in textile and garment production. Does that sound good? Making $2 billion of revenues a year? Come on, give me a thumbs up, even those hiding behind the black screens. Okay, and perhaps maybe even 10% of that could come from the Australian market. right? As we import a lot of textile to manufacture as well. So then another question you could ask yourself is, okay, I like all that. I have a lot of questions. How do I reach these people? Okay, where do I even start? Is this even logistically possible? So when we talk about costing, we're looking at accounting. When we talk about paying employees, we're talking about accounting. When we consider how we're managing our money, we're talking about finance. When we're looking at how do we reach our customers and how do we communicate with them, we're talking about marketing. And again, marketing, we need to find data. So we're looking at analytics, logistics, statistics, IT, as Thomas mentioned as well earlier. So they're all quite relevant to each other. And then we also need to consider the environment, the law, the culture, the technology, okay, the economy. And so we're talking about economics here. So I'm sure you have even 100 more questions, but all of these questions that I just threw at you, you're probably sweating. And the more questions that you might have, all the answers to those questions I gave you just now is going to be found in the concepts and the theories and the contexts of what you'll be learning in our business program. And even if you're not thinking that far ahead and all you want is to start a small business, like a restaurant or a small tourism and leisure company, or maybe you just want to, start up something small, like you just want to be an entrepreneur, or even maybe you just want to be a YouTuber. Yeah, everybody wants to be a YouTuber today. That's fine. That's great. But if you don't understand the fundamental concepts of how to reach a market and how to operate within a market which is competitive, which is affected by suppliers, customers, competitors, okay, disposable income, etc., then you are, like it or not, still part of a business world. And ultimately, the more you understand about the business world, the more chances you have of not making mistakes. Let's put it that way. So in business, we learn so that we can minimize mistakes. And when we minimize mistakes, then we are maximizing our chances of achieving our goals, whether they are personal goals or organizational goals. So this is basically what I wanted to share with you. I just wanted to create a small scenario and put everything into perspective for you. But Laura is going to share a different story, and she's going to give you a more specific example as well. Thank you all.
Thanks, Maya. Hi, everyone. I'm Laura Hanna. I'm the coordinator of the subject that you would do in your first year. It's called Accounting and Accountability. Hi, Maisha. Could we go to the next slide, please? If that's okay. Oh, yeah, right. So if you look at first year, you can see first subject at the top there is Accounting and Accountability, and that's my subject. So when you do that, you will be using all the materials that I put together for you guys, and you'll also hear my voice in all the videos, which hopefully you will love. So it's a real pleasure to meet you, meet all of you here today. But guess what else? I was also a UTS student, and I did a Bachelor of Business some years ago. When I chose to do the Bachelor of Business, I didn't really know what I wanted to study, and I didn't really know what I wanted to do in my career. It was kind of all up in the air. But I absolutely loved doing the Bachelor of Business at UTS, and I did all those first year subjects. And what I love about the program is that you get a little taste of all the disciplines. So you can experience it before you make that choice of what you want to major in. And now I'm teaching at UTS College, and I've been teaching here for a very long time. And I've noticed that lots and lots of my students, lots of them start and they're not really sure what they want to major in or what they want to do at the end of their degree. Now, some of them do know. Some people are thinking they want to start their own business one day. Some people are thinking they're going to take over the family business. Others have really big ambitions to be CEOs of big companies. Lots of students have lots of different ideas of where they want to go. And so the great thing about the Bachelor of Business is you don't need to know right away. You try your first year subjects and then you choose for your second year. I ended up choosing to do an accounting major and a finance major. And then, as Thomas was talking about, I was then able to get my further accounting qualification CPA, which was fantastic. My brother also went to UTS and did business, and he did finance, and he ended up going on to get the CFA finance qualification, following on from his degrees as well. All the first year subjects have been this year revised and updated, and so we've put a lot of work into making them more relevant and more up to date with real world business examples. When you do my accounting subject, a lot of people think, oh, accounting, it's just maths or it's just bookkeeping. But what you'll find out is it's about how you record what's happening in the business, but then how do you use that data to make decisions? And we also have a lot of Excel in the accounting course, and Excel is one of the #1 business tools that's used probably in almost every business. And so you'll have a chance to learn how to use Excel and then practice it in class with your teacher. And most of my students have given me feedback that even if they don't want to be an accountant, that they've found the accounting subject so useful to help them to either start planning for their own business, manage their personal finances, or just to learn more about how to use Excel. I'm aware of the time here, so I'm just wondering, Arif, did you want to move on to a Q&A session now?
Absolutely, Laura. I mean, but as we go along, probably we can add more to that.
Sure.
So there is a questions on the chat. Thomas, even though did answer, but I'm just kind of like thinking, read it out loud. And so, Thomas, if you could answer again, is there any merit-based scholarships beyond probably this 20% that's in offer?
As for now, for the first year to the second year, we only have this 20%, but we don't know about the next year yet because the scholarship is always reviewed on a yearly basis. So we're not sure yet, but I can check with our admission team if we have offer any higher amount. But the 20% is what we're aiming for in a general kind of sense.
Sure, absolutely.
The second
there's another question. Yeah.
Does the internship take an extra year? No, it doesn't. So it's actually included because, as I said, internship is actually a credit-bearing subject. So it's actually one of the elective subjects in all different majors. So if you successfully, I have to say, if you are successfully selected for the internship programs, then you won't take any extra time to extend your study durations.
Okay, great.
I'm going to answer the question there.
Yep. Any other questions?
Hello, all. Thanks for your presentation. It was really informative. So, things I want to just know that, as you have mentioned, that the students can choose from the different majors from another, like from the IT. So what my question is, does the certificate will mention this, that the student has completed Bachelor of Business with the major in IT? Because
your transcript will always mention what major you actually did when you study this bachelor degree. So I don't think on the actual bachelor certificate, like a degree testimony, it will say that you did IT and this. Laura, correct me if I'm wrong. I don't, like, because you studied in bachelor business, does it show on your testimony what major you did, or you just
I
show
can
on your
remember.
transcript?
Yeah, I can't remember exactly. I can
Yeah.
go get my certificate if you want.
Yeah.
But you always have your certificate, and then, like you said, you always have the transcript. Usually you would show in an interview both, I think, and the transcript would show all the subjects that you've done.
Yes, that's correct. Yes.
Yeah, but it's interesting that you bring up IT as well, because I know a lot of the students that I've been teaching have been thinking to do the IT major with either accounting or finance. They've been talking to me about.
Yeah.
They go really nicely together.
Yeah, and also if you don't want to do a full IT major, at business school we also offer a sub major. So sub major is 4 subjects in a group. So a sub major, we have business analytics. So that's a popular one. So if you not want to go into full technical, how to program this and that kind of IT degree, IT major, a business analytics in sub major will also be a great choice to couple with whatever major you want to do. Say you want to do marketing combined with business analytics. We not only have a sub major called business analytics, we also have a very specialization. It's called business analytics in marketing. So this really goes well with your other majors if you want to do that. Yeah.
All right, thank you.
So just to extend to that, I think, Thomas, the background of the questions, I think, so by the way, it would be my question as well. So people got into business school and they choose to do IT as their major as in the second year onwards. So what's their career prospect? Are they becoming business leader? Are they becoming computer programmer? Which directions is that?
Okay. Right. So in the first year, you obviously do all your core subject in Bangladesh. You come to the second year, you need to choose your business major first, because your business major that's why it's called a Bachelor of Business. So you need to choose a business major first. Then if you want to do a second major in IT, then you go with the second major at the same time. As I show one of the slides, so in the second year, you do 2 subjects from one major, the other 2 subjects come from the second major. Because you can't finish one major in 1 year, because in those majors, there are a lot of subjects with a prerequisite. So you need to progress slowly into the more advanced subjects. So you can't go 4 subjects major, or finish my major in 1 year. No. So you go 2 subjects in one major in one semester, then 2 subjects from another major. Say you mentioned IT major. Okay. So there are some difference between a IT major in Bachelor of Business and a major in Bachelor of IT, which is offered by our Faculty of Engineering IT. They do more extensive technical studies, but we offer this one as a kind of a tool, kind of assistance to your business kind of a concept. The IT major subjects will also be delivered by the Faculty of Engineering and IT. It's not delivered by us. We deliver our business subjects. They deliver the IT major for our business students. So, and you asked about career perspectives. Right. That really depends on what you want to do. Okay. The first question I want to ask, you want to do a business major with a IT major together. Why? You must have some ideas before you choose this couple kind of 2 majors. Yeah. So if you just say, oh, I don't know, I just think doing IT it's cool, then don't do it. Right. So you might probably need to have some good ideas what you want to do. So my suggestion is, there are a lot of students can do programming, can do data collections. There are a lot of students have business ideas, but there are some bridge missing between those 2 groups of students, right? The technical concept of it and the business ideas of it. So now we need people who knows a bit about technology and the data collections, or information systems, and also know about how business operates. So in that case, you can translate what a data means and give a consultation or solution to your clients, to your companies, and translate that into business language that your organization will understand. That's something that people really look into. So if you talk about career perspectives, a business analyst or a digital marketers, so all those people will need this kind of skills in IT. Yeah.
Absolutely. Thank you. Any other question from anyone?
I see. Would I get assistance choosing my major? I would say yes, because later on during your studies, first year study at in Bangladesh at the Premier University, we will come and visit, or we will have another webinar like this. That one is designed for students who are already in our first year, who are looking to get to the second year in UTS in our bachelor degree. So in that kind of a session, we will help our students to decide what major they want to choose, give you an idea what kind of career path, or like what kind of subjects is involved in the major subjects. Each major will have 8 subjects, but some of them are compulsory, some of them are optional, so you can choose different subjects in a particular major. Say marketing. Marketing, you have a different marketing service marketing, brand management, all this digital marketing. So you do choose some from this particular sets of subjects to make up your major. But I think accounting will be different. Accounting major is very fixate, because that's regulated by the CPA Australia and ACC, all these industry bodies. So you can't really choose much. You have to do this, including taxation laws and that kind of thing. Am I right, Laura? Yes.
Okay, fantastic. So look, I'm aware of time as well, but Laura, Maya, you guys shared your story about UTS, and something must have been attracting you to this amazing organization. Could you share something for our students? What is that wow factor when they first go to the campus? Anything about the campus that's so unique? We see amazing videos. I have been visiting there myself. I felt amazing, but you guys are living there, breathing there. Would you like to share something, your experience, please?
Yes, I would love to share. My parents moved to Sydney when I was just 1 year old, so I've grown up in Sydney most of my life. It is a most beautiful city, and all the international students I teach all talk about how much they love it and what a great time they have here. But I also, one thing I wanted to share with you is, why did I choose UTS when I was choosing which university to go to? As I said, I've grown up in Sydney, and I had really good marks from school. I could choose any university in Sydney that I wanted to go to. And I chose UTS for a few reasons. First of all, it does have an absolutely fantastic location. It's right in the city. It's very easy to get to on public transport. A lot of people in Sydney catch the train into the city, or you can live in the city if you want to. So for me, the location was great. And if you go there now, it's got restaurants everywhere. It's a really nice area. Also, I chose UTS because it is a young university, and I didn't want to go to one of the older universities that's very academic and very theoretical. I was really looking for something that was practical and relevant and that would get me ready for work. And also, I loved all the flexibility and options. I loved the idea of doing first year is chosen for me because I didn't know what I wanted to do. And then I got to make my choice in second year. So all those things were very attractive to me. And I loved studying at UTS. Now I teach at UTS. And actually, I'm back being a student again. I'm doing a postgraduate certificate. I'm learning more about learning design, which I'm really loving as well. So I'm back to being a student again as well. Yeah,
that's amazing. Thanks, Laura. Yeah, I mean, amazing cities, amazing facilities. I mean, amazing people. All this helps. Maya. What about you?
I'll share the opposite story, which is
Sure.
actually good because you get to see the two perspectives. See, when I wanted to come to Australia, I think I was kind of maybe like you, and I think this is the purpose of this webinar, is that when I first heard of UTS, I thought of UTS as a technical school, IT, and which is not what I was interested in. And at the time, somehow they didn't reach me in their marketing, or I didn't know if they even had that kind of intention to reach an international market and explain that they have a business program. So when I came to Australia, I studied at another university, which was an old university, the opposite of UTS. And it was, in fact, very theoretical and academic and dull. So my experience, completing my master's degree in Australia from an academic standpoint wasn't the best when I compare it to my bachelor's, which was the same. I studied in American university for my bachelor's, and it was a very young university. It was only 4 years old, very, very modern, very, very practical. I loved my bachelor's degree. And then when I came and I studied in Australia, choosing the university I did, I wasn't too cluey about it. I feel like if I had gone to UTS, I would have been in a different stage of my life. But long story short, here I am at UTS. So somehow I was drawn back to UTS when I found out what it was about. Of course, I wasn't a student anymore at that time. I was looking for work. And now I'm a teacher and an academic coordinator, and I've grown and learned so much working at UTS. And yes, it's so vibrant, it's so practical. Everything we do as a teaching cohort, we always relate it to the real world, which it's lacking in the older universities that are very, very sort of book oriented. They follow the textbooks and the textbooks only, whereas the only reason we use a textbook is just to give you a source, but everything else is real examples, practical work, application based. This is between you and me. And marketing has no final exam as of 2023 because don't tell anybody, because we want to make it practical. Yeah. Boo to the final exams, too technical. I'm just kidding. But yes, so we're moving into these approaches where we want our subjects to be more practical. And if there is theory, then the theory is what we call theory to practice. So we give you the theory, but then it's an applicable theory. It's a practical theory, something that you can use in the real world. Yes, the city is vibrant. You're going to meet amazing students that have, same ambitions, similar ambitions. They want to be, they want to make a difference. They want to be someone. So when you surround yourself with these people that are in a vibrant environment, you yourself are going to absorb this energy, and you're going to find yourself, ooh, I'm more productive than I expected to be. And you're going to excel like that. Teachers are vibrant, the staff are vibrant, the janitors are vibrant, the security guards are, everything is vibrant in Sydney City. You're going to love it. So that's my story for you. Yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing, Maya. I mean, who wouldn't love to be in a city like this, in an environment like this? And the marketing course that you were saying, no exam, who loves exam? Guys, I'm very sure you guys, all of you are listening. I don't think any of you probably love exam. I never liked exam myself as well. So it's an amazing how dynamic the university is. It's taking that modern approach, and that attracted people like you, who's not only was graduates, but at the same time became faculty members in the university. It's an amazing story. So with those amazing stories, I'm still going to, we still got a minute. If anyone have any last questions for anyone, please. If you don't have any question, we have recorded this session, so we would definitely share this recording with you. In the meantime, you can register your interest in this particular link, and also with those amazing stories that you heard about the Business School of University of Technology, Sydney. You can, if you have some interest to talk to us, please do contact us here. This is our website, and we will provide you all the information. So with that, one last time, in case you want to know anything about scholarships, anything about entry requirement, this is your last chance to ask. If not, we are good to go. Any last question? All right. It seems like no, but I would like to thank Thomas, Laura, and Maya for your time. Those of you are in Bangladesh, you just for your information, it's actually 9 p.m. Here in Sydney. So really appreciate the UTS team taking time at this hour of the day after whole days of work to present to all these amazing students from Bangladesh. It's a great university with that great note. I say thank you, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye for today.
You guys, nice meeting you
Thank
all.
you. Thank you.
Take
Hope to
care.
see you in Sydney
Bye.
in a year.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, bye.